Congratulations, you've just won a one-way trip to Prehevel, but unlucky for you, the housing market is a bit iffy. But lucky for you, there are 13 other people who are also coming to Prehevel, who are willing to help you pay the rent. You just gotta pick the right person. So let's go through each of them and figure out who would be the best roommate for you. First up is Dan, and while he is currently unemployed, he does have experience in medicine and was formerly a medic. These skills make him highly employable on the current job market, and it also means that he'll be able to pay his half of the rent. His abilities as a bartender also means he has pretty good social skills, which ensures that you two will get along. Of course, not everything is perfect. Dan's extensive history with Sylvian worship has left him a bit uneasy with the subject, so if you yourself are a Sylvian worshipper, just be wary that he might not take too kindly to you. After Dan is Bella, who economically is in a pretty similar place, while currently unemployed, but having the skills to become employed quite quickly, and to also have a very high-paying job once employed. Although the problem with Bella is that she may or may not be involved with a specific underground society that isn't taken very kindly by the current leader of Europa, so you may or may not find yourself in the middle of an espionage scandal. Just after Abella is Osa, and Osa doesn't really have that many upsides. The only one I can think of is that he's going to be out of the house for most of the time since he's there for the Termina festival. But Osa is probably not going to be paying his half of the rent anytime soon, and his personal views tends to cause a lot of disagreement between people. After Osa is Olivia, who really doesn't have any downsides. She will definitely pay her half of the rent. She also generally keeps to herself. All in all, she's one of the most normal people here, only beaten out by the normal person. After Olivia is Karen. Karen would also be paying her half of the rent, and she's a journalist, which means she probably has some incredible social skills. Her profession and personality make her quite well versed in politics, if you ever want to have a conversation about that topic. She's also very well informed in general, due to the nature of her job. The only downside is that, being a journalist, there's a very real chance that she might win Kaiser's Award for Excellence in Journalism. After Karen is Pav, who I assure you will not be paying his half of the rent at all, although on the plus side, he is quite entertaining to speak with. He also has some quite strong political opinions, which is great if you agree with him. After Pav is Marco, and Marco would definitely pay his half of the rent. His experience as a boxer also means he's very likely to get a job quite soon. He generally keeps to himself and is quite good-natured. After Marco is Levi, and Levi would probably be able to pay his half. He has experience as a soldier, quite a lot in fact, and it means he's very likely to get a job, as being a soldier means you acquire a lot of skills on the front lines. He also generally keeps to himself. After Levi is Marina, and Marina would also be able to pay her half of the rent. She's witty and well-educated, making her quite fun to talk to, but she can also keep to herself if you prefer a quiet roommate who stays in the background. The only downside being that having Marina in your home might mean you might get unwarranted attention from someone else. This is the someone else. Samri, by all means, really isn't that bad. She generally keeps to herself to a much more extreme extent than the other contestants, and her job as a Twitch streamer is surprisingly profitable, meaning she'll be able to cover her half of the rent, and even then some. She's generally pretty kind and doesn't cause that many problems as long as Marina isn't involved. But in the case Marina is involved, things can get pretty sour pretty quick. After Samri is Tanaka, who must be working some proper black magic because somehow I went from 500 subscribers to 600 subscribers in a week. But other than those shenanigans, he's pretty alright. He makes decent enough money, which means he'll be able to pay his half of the rent. And he's also quite nice to talk to. He is very polite. That, coupled with his interesting background, make him quite the intriguing person. After Tanaka is Heinrich, and professional, normal dude. He's a chef, which means he can probably cook up some amazing meals, and because of his great enjoyment of cooking, you're probably gonna get homemade food every day. From a professional chef, no less. His skills, unsurprisingly, also make him quite employable, which means that it'll be very soon where he'll be able to make decent enough money to pay the rent in full. He is also, objectively, the most normal person in the entire Fear and Hunger cast. Finally is August, and August is sort of a wild card. I'm not really sure where to place him, since he'll probably be able to make rent payments, but other than that, he's so intertwined with mystery that it makes it very difficult to figure out if he would be a good roommate or not. But judging off of the dialogue we get with him in-game, he's a generally very polite and intelligent person, making him a joy to be around, and considering his outdoorsy nature, he probably won't be in the house for that long, making him a great contender to be a great roommate. Anyways, that's it. That's the entire video, but it's not the end of what I want to say. I want to ask you, should I do more Yume Nikki stuff? Because like I really like Yume Nikki, and I also really like Mori and like a lot of other games. So I want to know if you guys were like interested in seeing me like play those stuff, or you know, make videos about it. So yeah, just like throwing that out there. Yume Nikki or like Mori or Hearts of Iron 4 or like Team Fortress 2, just yay or nay, just yay or nay.